Hello, y'all. This is not the exciting week 2 preview post game of week 1 that we wanted to give y'all, but we back nonetheless. We can't run from the smoke. We can't hide from it. Even when we give our bold, beautiful predictions that we gonna win every game, it seemed like win 13, 14 games, like we always talk about. The reality is the NFL season has started and we back. So how you holding up, Z?
I mean, it's sad boys ENT over here still.
Yeah,
I'm cool with it. I mean, at the end of the day, they ain't deserve to win that game.
right.
So, I mean, shit. Charge that one to the game. Them boys didn't appear ready.
Yeah.
Well,
Eh,
correction.
right. Correct.
Majority of boys seem ready. But the most important one was I don't know if he wasn't ready. I don't know if he's just trying to do too much.
Right.
But yeah, that's what it boiled down to, man.
Yeah.
At the end
And
of the day.
honestly, we can get right to it, man. There's no running from it, right? Like I said, we don't run from the smoke. One thing about recording every week, whether me and you is linking up in person or not, is we got to talk about the shit that we see. We
An
come
ass
with,
whooping. I
yeah,
mean,
you know what I mean? When it's like,
takes so much
right,
blood.
ass whooping to us because we know we should have won that game by 17 plus.
Yeah.
Especially after the injury. So to fill people in on a loop. Now I know millions of people was watching the game. Bills lost the game in overtime, lost on a punt return. Josh Allen, superstar quarterback of the Buffalo Bills, turns the ball over 4 times. And
Oh,
the result of turning the ball over 4 times is you put yourself in a tough situation to win a game. That's exactly what happened. Aaron Rodgers doesn't even complete a pass to any of his wide receivers. He's out after 4 plays. Jets still pull it off. So that's just to give people the quick, even though I know the listeners who do listen or do watch us, they probably should already know all of this. But
out of
just
out of all potential outcomes for the game, that's one that I never thought in a million years would have happened.
Aaron Rodgers, I
Aaron
mean, like,
Rodgers go out first
right.
drive, Zach Wilson come in,
And
and
they still
Jets
and they still pull it
still
off.
win
Right.
in overtime on a punt return. Like you can't write this up. I mean, well, I mean the script writers can. I'm
Right.
like,
I was about to say them, they
I
joke
said, them
around
boys
about that. They listen,
is
they was
hard at
writing
work
their
on that
ass
one.
off. Listen, they was writing their ass off. Like we joke around about the script writers, but if anybody did want to believe in scripts, week 1 had some stuff. Now, every game wasn't as dramatic. I know since we recorded, Kansas City obviously lost by 1 point. Kind of crazy ending in that game.
Yeah, a little
We
bit.
obviously saw Cincinnati lose to Cleveland and Deshaun Watson and those boys. It was a couple other close ones. New
Giants got
England.
their ass whooped.
You
I
said
was
who did?
watching.
Giants. Right, Giants getting
I
beat
tuned
like,
into that game. I got there about 10 minutes later. I said, what the fuck happened?
40-0. And honestly, I ain't gonna hold you. I'd rather get beat the way we did,
Oh, 100%.
knowing that I got a top 5 quarterback still who had a bad game, than see my whole team collapse and lose 40-0. Cause that
That
right
game was
there,
over in the first 10 minutes.
yeah,
It was done.
yeah. And I fell asleep on that game because I remember I was already halfway smacked or whatever you want to call me. And I'm just like, oh no, I'm good. I'm shutting
Yeah.
my eyes. Yeah,
Ain't nothing.
ain't nothing for me to stay up for on a Sunday night.
I
Cause
think I
Sunday
nodded off
night.
at halftime, and then I woke up next morning. I said 40 to not a field goal. I said, come on,
Listen,
Dave.
listen. Sunday nights are rough enough,
Right.
especially after a full day of football. But you mean to tell me you're gonna put a blowout on TV? No, I'm good. Let me get this extra sleep real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get that extra sleep. And I knew I had to look forward to my Bills on Monday, which I ain't I ain't know I was gonna be looking forward to
Yeah.
what we witnessed. But like I said, there's no running from the main topic. And I'll get your take because I know I can go on for days about it. But
Mm-hmm.
my quick 1 minute intro rant is that I want fans to realize it is okay to criticize your top guy. These guys, of course, are human. These guys, of course, are never gonna always play perfect. You can still be a fan of a dude and be like, "Yeah, you played like trash." It's okay to say these things, and I think that I guess the initial frustration for me in the first, let's say, 18 hours after the game, because I got over it after 12, 18, 24 hours. Not over, but I got to the point where I was like, you know what I mean? But my initial frustration was like, seeing fans go back and forth, judging people for being upset at the QB. Some people, being extra defensive or trying to spread the blame around to the coordinator, which we can discuss. But like, it's okay to say, hey, your $250 million quarterback has to control himself. This is a guy who's always played 90% of the time has played well when the bright lights came on. We talk about primetime games, primetime records, primetime stats. I think they said coming into the game, he's top 2, only behind Aaron Rodgers when it comes to playing on primetime. So I think none of the fans really were out there on that day saying this guy is complete trash. He sucks. Get him out of Buffalo. It's just, hey, guess what? We don't want to have the convo 2 years from now that you are Phillip Rivers, that you are fucking just 6'5" Brett Favre, you know what I mean? Or like we
Late
don't
stage Big Ben.
yeah, and like I said, some of those guys won championships. So Big Ben won one, Brett Favre won one or two. I forget. Phillip Rivers never won one. So it's like I don't want to have that convo, but it's okay to bring up that, hey, guess what? The talking head's gonna have that convo. Some fans are going to get to a point where if it's 4, 5, 6, 7 games where it looks like that's an extreme. But if it looks like that, every 3 or 4 games, people gonna get tired. And you have to, as a fan, be able to have honest conversations. But that's all I wanted to say for my initial rant. But we'll go a little more into detail and then we'll look forward to obviously the home opener. But what you got, man? What's your intro like?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, more often than not in the NFL, it boils down to which one of your quarterback is going to play better. And in a game like this, where their top guy went out in the first drive, at the end of the day, all Josh needed to do was drive his car into the garage. He
Yep.
ain't have to do nothing extra. He ain't have to go over the top. He ain't have to go Superman. He ain't have to force nothing.
That
But for
wasn't
some
it.
reason, his brain that day was wired to do the most. And he didn't need to. I mean, he was bailing out of the pocket early when he didn't need to. I
Right.
mean, he's chucking it down the field when he could have ran for a first down. I mean, he's throwing it into double coverage when he had a check down option available. It's just like he was forcing it down the field when, things went a little haywire. And at the end of the day, it appears that, from a schematic standpoint, that, Dorsey had options available. Like
Yeah.
they're
Solid game
within
plan.
quick pressure in a lot of instances,
What,
but
12 personnel
yeah,
most
but
of the game?
there was always a check down option. There were a hot route there available, for that quick pressure. But he decided to, tuck it and run or chuck it deep and, kind of look like he was going against the actual design, excuse me, of the offense. So, you know, 90% of this game, it fall on his shoulders.
Yep.
I mean, again, defense let up 13 points,
Yeah.
any
16. Yeah.
given,
Well,
yeah.
right. Realistically, it was like 13. But yeah, even if you want to count the field goal that they gave up,
Yeah, I
uh,
mean, they can count the field
it
goal
is
after
what
that,
it is.
but
Right.
whatever.
So if we say even 16, you should win with a top 5 quarterback. You should win 100% of the time
Right.
if your defense holds the other team to 16 points. Point
Yeah.
blank period. If you have a
Right.
top 5 quarterback,
Mhm.
16 points, your top 5 $250 million quarterback should win that game.
Yeah.
And I don't care what defense he playing, because to be honest with you, Jets defense didn't play all that great. They had a couple plays where I would say, Quentin Williams, obviously comes to top mind, where you just like, God damn, yeah, it wasn't no blocking that. But those interceptions, those wasn't like one-handed step in front of the ball, amazing like Troy Polamalu, Ed
No.
Reed. Like, no, that
Both of
was
those deep throws that were interceptions were routine catches for a safety who was wide open. Like it wasn't nothing. Like the one where he broke on that out route game. I mean, that's a good play. That's good anticipation. That's a nice play on him. Again, another bad ball, but that's a good play. And nothing against the play he made, but it wasn't a spectacular play. Like it's Josh doing too much. And
just doing dumb stuff. Like, I
yeah,
mean,
and he let
again,
he ran into a lot of pressures, making the O line look a lot worse than it actually did. I mean,
right.
online, there's so many people talking about fire Spencer Brown to the moon or this and that. O line is trash, and I'm like, yo, he's running into sacks and running into pressure. Like,
Right.
all pressure ain't on the O line.
Right. And I think as a whole, we do understand. I think most rational fans understand they played against a very good defensive line, which
Absolutely.
they're going to see some good defensive lines, honestly, for the rest of the year. Like I looked at I think we talked about it before. I looked at the schedule. I mean, you got the Eagles down the line, you got to play. You got Dallas down the line, you got to play. You got the Jaguars, you got Miami, you got the next two games, you got the Raiders D line, and you got the Commanders D line. Like, I
Yep.
don't even know if they're going to see a bottom tier D line all year. So I don't expect the offensive line to be perfect this year. They're going to be above average for sure. Because what I saw even in that game was still to me average to above average play from the O line. You know, the rookie did what he had to do. I didn't hear Dawkins' names much, which is always a good thing. You know, Mitch Morse tried to hold up the best he could.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't hear
mean, most pressure given up was Brown and McGovern,
right.
and McGovern. I mean, you gonna have it,
McGovern's still dealing with the knee injury, which I'm not trying to give him, you know,
right?
a
And you
pass.
dealing with winning all day, so
Right. So
you
yeah,
can't
you
lose
dealing with
on
that.
Saturday. There
Right.
ain't
So
nothing you
that
can do about that.
right. So again, it comes down to being able to put your fandom aside and say, hey man, from a real true fan,
Shit.
just play smarter, man. Like we all for the highlights. Like I said, like I don't ever want anybody who listens. And I don't know. It could only be 2 people that listen to us a week. And it could only be 3 people that follow me on Twitter who really pay attention to what I say, Instagram, whatever. But I don't ever want it to be twisted like I'm no longer a fan of Josh Allen. I'm
Oh
no
hell,
longer
it's far from it. But at the end of the day, criticism doesn't mean you don't support. Don't mean you can't cheer for. Don't mean you don't like. That's my guy. I mean, as a fan, I'm a ride for my quarterback. But we had a bad game, and there's nothing wrong with saying he had a bad game, and he
and
definitely
clean it
needs to
up.
be better. Yeah,
Right. And clean up. Like and the funny thing is like, we can bring up all the stats. We know that the analysts they got into it over the last 48 hours. You could bring in the most turnover, blah blah blah. I'm not even worried about all that. My goal is when it comes to especially him, because that's our guy. He ain't going nowhere. Is learn from it, right? Like I don't want it to be a every 3 to 5 games we got to come back and say, is this really just going to be what we're dealing with for the next 10 years? Because guess what? I know some people will take it because some people say, hey, as long as the touchdowns are here and the turnovers is right around here, I'll be okay. I'm more to like, yes, I need my touchdowns. I need you to still give me all the touchdowns you can, but can we at least go from here on the turnovers to like right here? Like, can I get to a median where if you're not having your best game, it doesn't just mean 3 turnovers?
yeah. It's the senseless ones that I
Right.
can get rid of. Like, listen, if it's a thing where you a tick late or somebody makes a good play, hey, the tip your hat, keep moving. But them
Yeah.
two deep shots, it didn't have to happen. Like those are the ones I need to get rid of. And that damn fumble. Them
Yeah.
fumbles gotta go.
Yeah. We listen, we addressed that 3 4 years ago. We
Yeah,
said
them fumbles gotta go.
that ball security
The
when you
picks
hold the
is gonna be
ball,
the picks, but them fumbles, they gotta go.
because these defensive players they get paid too, right? They watch
Yeah.
film and they know what they're seeing. And when they see a guy, it's one thing to dive over one player. We've seen him do that. We saw him dive over a linebacker his rookie year. That was 1-on-1. But when you're trying to dive over like 4 players and the first down marker is 9 yards away, bro,
That's
that's not
just
smart.
stupid.
That's not smart. So that's why when McDermott did this or whoever else they said was doing that, I totally get it because it's like, guess what?
You wasn't getting that first down. What I
You
don't
wasn't
know.
getting that first down. And better yet, hey,
It's the
guess
first
what,
quarter,
fam?
dog. It don't
Just
even matter.
right, just 30 minutes ago, did you not see that other guy on a regular play get knocked out of the game?
Right.
You sitting out here doing a helicopter at the 35-yard line? Up
Yeah.
here, bro. That's it. And I think it's only because we really obviously we care about the team, but we care about him as a person too. Like I'm not trying to hit, I'm not trying to see my man get hit, spun in the air, knee go backwards, and then all the reporters are just saying, I told y'all so.
Right.
We said if he can just and McDermott will be the same way too. You know how pissed McDermott to be when he been sitting there telling reporters
For
every
years now.
few months. I want him to protect himself. I want him to protect his body. We're telling him to slide. We're telling him, and I'm not saying I want you every time you run that ball up the middle to go ahead and hit Tom
Well,
Brady slide.
right,
No,
3 yards and slide, but you
I'm
gotta
saying choose your
pick your
battles.
shots, right?
Yeah, and that's all it's all about. And like I said, we can move on, but I think that it's important that we address that as you know, people who we consider ourselves, we know enough about the game and lifelong fans on both sides. So it's like, yo, fam, Josh Allen, from most of the mafia, we just telling you, pick your spots.
And what's crazy, like he completed 70% of his passes.
Which
Like
is nuts, right?
you were being outside of them stupid throws, you were being efficient. Like sometimes you got to sit back and play a boring game. Like if they daring you to not go deep, then
It be like that.
just take them underneath
Bro.
passes.
How many games Tom Brady won like that? It was a boring game.
Millions.
And Tom Brady, okay, I'm a boring game my way
You
to the
go,
Super
you gonna
Bowl.
give me these 7 yard hits
Think,
every. Oh, give me
right.
this. He's all the way down the field for this touchdown.
I'll even throw in our guy Patrick Mahomes.
He does the
Same,
exact same thing.
same thing, bro. Last year, they literally won the Super Bowl by playing 95% of the season of smart football. All right, we're
Mhm.
gonna get it out, get it here, boom, boom. And that was it. It wasn't no 80-yard bombs to no Tyreek Hill. They didn't have no Tyreek Hill. They had
Six
Juju.
yard pass, run at the catch. 4 yard pass, run at the catch. 11 yard pass, run
We
at the
live
catch.
because we just trying to live to see another day. And I think that I don't care about nobody being in this air because that's the one thing I want people to lose when they criticize him is like, stop telling me if Dable was here, things would be better. Or if McDermott locked him in a room and sat on his lap and spit in his ear, pause.
Or
But
they had a veteran quarterback, even bro.
yo, this
How many
kid
years
is not a baby.
and it's grown. Like no,
Yeah, 6-year vet. Like after 3 years in the league, you're a veteran.
yeah.
So we
You
talk
need to
about
stop
it.
doing too much. You just
Right,
bro, you're doing too much.
right,
And
right.
it's like your friend, you out, you got a little too much to drink, you getting a little extra in the club. Like yo, bro, you
Hey,
doing
yo,
too
come
much.
here.
Chill out.
Come here,
Right,
fam. And it's only because you care about him. Yo, come
right.
here.
Like, hey.
Mm-mm.
You ain't gotta say
Hey.
nothing. Hey,
Right. Hey, I'm
hey.
telling you, chill out.
Bro, chill.
Right. But it comes a point, even when you that other person on the side. We all been pulled in before. I know I have.
Mhm.
I'd have had niggas pull me to the side. I'd have had my father talk to me when I was a teenager, or even as an adult, like, listen, watch yourself, be careful, do this, do that. It's okay to say those things because some people need that. But there comes a point though when you yourself have to do what? You got to check yourself. You got to be like, I'm tired of hearing it from other people. I need to be better.
Right.
Whether that's in your profession, whether that's in your marriage, whether that's in your relationship with your kids, your friends. There comes a point where you sit down and you be like, I'm tired of hearing y'all tell me what I need to do.
Right.
Let me just get this shit right myself. And so hopefully, like I said, 4 years ago, he had the game against New England. I remember being at that game where he threw 3 picks and he swore up and down that game was a wake-up moment for him. I hope
Mhm.
once again, 4 years later, he can say that about this game and say, you know what? I walked out of that Monday Night Football game. My head was down. I was messed up. And I realized how much I let my teammates down in a game that was a gimme, in a division game that was a gimme. And that's the other reason why, and we'll move forward because, I'll start to get back into it. That's another reason why I can't take the whole, relax, chill out. Division games matter. I
Mhm.
don't care if it's week 1 or week 13. Division games matter. So
All
for
counts
those
to
who
him.
want to just overlook it, you boo boo bye bye boo boo. Listen, y'all, week 1 or not, I'm all for looking forward because I'm always Mr. Positive. That's the only way I move in life. That's the only way I'm able to get up in the morning and really challenge myself to be the best version of myself is because I have a very, very positive outlook on a lot of things. So I'm all for looking ahead. Hey, 16 games left, et cetera, et cetera. But let's not diminish losing to that team twice
Mhm.
in a short period of time.
I mean, that's two out of the last
2 out
three.
of the last 3, and quite frankly, the one at home that was a real close one too. If Matt Milano wasn't
Mhm.
out there, what's the name? So speaking of Matt Milano, let's try to switch gears a little bit so we can get a little positive in from last game before we move on. What was 2 major positives you took from the game?
I mean, one, I was encouraged by the amount of 12 personnel they use. I mean, they brought Kincaid in. They gave that man a hell of snaps. I mean, tight ends didn't get a ton of targets, but I mean, I like their commitment to it. I felt like the run game was very, very close to breaking off some big runs multiple times. I mean, a block held longer, half a second longer, could have been a difference of him breaking a couple different ones. So I'm definitely encouraged by some stuff on offense. And again, the Diggs look good, so it was nice seeing him in the game. I liked him trying to get Hardy into the involved early, getting the ball in his hand. But most of the positives was on the defensive side. Like
Yeah,
they
for
were getting
sure.
good pressure throughout the game. Rousseau and was in the backfield all day. He wasn't able to actually get a sack, but I mean he was fingertips away on multiple occasions. Leonard Floyd was causing havoc. Ed Oliver was
Ed Oliver was
a,
balling.
a beast all
Jordan,
day.
yeah, Jordan Phillips got him one.
Yeah, so Ed Oliver had pressures left and right. So and I saw they only blitzed 3 times
Right.
all game.
And I
So
love
like
it.
they were getting a lot of pressure with just 4. So like if they can continue that, that's gonna cause headaches for a lot of teams. You know, Brees Hall had very nice stat line, but I think that overshadowed for the most part actual good run defense. I
Yeah.
mean, they had an 83-yard run, which looked to be just a complete misalignment.
Yeah, just a misalignment. Yeah. But
Everybody
like you
was.
said, you take away that 83, they get what, 40 on the day? 50 on the day?
It's. I think the outside of that, I think they were under 3 yards of carry outside of the big one, which kind of has been their mo. Been very good at stopping the run, but every now and again somebody breaking the long one. But
I know. I
this
know.
last one looked like defense was heavy on the right side, and Jets they were heavy on the opposite side with a 3 tight end set, and
Right.
everybody missed it.
Yeah.
And you had Trey White in no man's land trying to cover everything from the sideline to the hash. And for one person, like shit,
And,
I don't know what you want me to do.
and that's film too. You know, offensive coordinators, they see certain weaknesses in the Bills defense, especially when
Yeah,
they go nickel or dime.
I can't cover 2 gaps or
Right.
3 gaps. Like I'm
Yeah.
I'm out here on an island. So
Yeah.
and shout out
There's
to
some
Benford for haul tailing out and saving that
hell
touchdown.
of a play. Hell of a play.
I thought Brees was gone. I said, okay, Benford
Yeah, Benford. Now
with the
listen.
Jets.
And
He
I and
hustled.
here I was calling Elam the best athlete out that corner group.
Yeah, he probably still is, but Benford showed a little speed
Ben,
on that.
I like that though. That was great
'Cause,
because when you playing in a division with Tyreek Hill, I need to
oh
see that
yeah, that was it.
better.
But yeah, Brees had a couple steps on him too. I said,
Yeah.
okay, I
Listen,
see you.
and coming from the middle of the field to the side, that's not an easy
Hell
angle.
no. No, he cut that off. But just another positive. I mean, I think Bernard looked held his own at middle linebacker.
Yeah, he
Um,
did okay.
I
I'm
felt
still, yeah,
I
you know where
felt
I'm at.
in the passing game, nothing in the middle was easy. I mean, he did a good job getting back in his depth in the zone. I think he cut off a lot of good throws, or correction, got back there and that cut off part of that field. So we weren't even seeing throws across the middle. Coming downhill and in the run game, I mean, that's gonna be something he's gonna struggle with until he really figures out how to, you know, I mean, as an undersized middle linebacker, it's going to take some time figuring out how to really attack the angles of these linemen and not get caught up in the wash, which he did a couple times. But
Right.
I left that game encouraged from the middle linebacker position. I don't feel like it's a dire need. I felt like he definitely held his own against you know a decent offensive team. So like I felt pretty good about his first outing out there.
Okay. All right. I mean, for me, I like what you brought about the defense because obviously the defensive line showed up. Thought they played very well to come away with the game with 3 sacks, um, and a bunch of pressures. I think they had over 15 pressures. I know they had over 12 pressures. I think total.
Yeah, I think
Um,
Ed had 6 alone.
yeah, he had 6 alone. I think they had 5 from each ends,
Yeah,
Lloyd and
so had
Russo. So
5.
I mean, yeah, you do the math right there. But yeah, I think I was encouraged by a deep line. Middle linebacker, I still feel I feel okay that he was able to make it through the game without me like beating the TV. But I do think that, and again, this could be just me. Kirksey has a chance to
Yeah,
possibly
that's
be
your
in
shoe
you.
right now. Yeah, no, that's your shoe.
Oh man, you know me. Listen, I don't care.
That's your shoe right now.
I think he may be an option down the line if it ever looks like the run game. And like I said, they weren't horrible against the run, but if the run defense let's say every game for the next 3 or 4 weeks, allows 2 or 3 big ones, it may be something to look at.
Yeah, I mean that
Like I
wasn't just
said, I'm
him
not
though.
panicking. I'm not panicking though.
Yeah, I
I
mean that first big run that got away. I mean, multiple D linemen had a shot at
yeah,
getting hit. That's missed tackles. Second one is a misalignment, which falls on Benford as the signal caller in the defense, but that also falls on the corners and the safety shit. Anybody
right.
up there should have saw that. Like, yo, bro, they got 6 people over there. We got 3. Like,
Yeah. Nah,
something's off.
and that's
I
coaching.
just
And
don't
that's
think
coaching
that
too,
fall
because
on Bernard. Like I felt like he didn't do anything at all on Sunday, thinking that any other linebacker needs to hop in there and get them snaps.
I'm
He
just a
ain't.
Kirksey fan. You know me. But
Yeah, no, Kirksey can stay his ass on the practice squad. Yeah,
but
all right.
nah, to flip it outside of that, like I said, defense was totally positive. Offensively, I don't even know why I heard some people didn't think Cook had the best game. I'm like, Cook played pretty decent in my eyes, given whatever he was given. He had a
Yeah, he
couple good
played fine
runs.
to me. Yeah.
Yeah, and but probably one of my more encouraging signs was obviously the energy of Stephon Diggs. I think that I walk away from the game and I said it from the beginning of the game to the end. It's like he was on 100
Mm-hmm.
all game, and that's what I love about him. Like I said, you can nitpick about whatever you want to nitpick when it comes to Steph, but I'm like, the fact that mentally, on top of physically, he's locked in
Locked. Locked in.
for the whole game, from warm-ups to the game. That's the type of I love, because I'm telling you right now, like, to be the best, you gotta lock yourself in. Like, no matter what's going on in the game, whether you catching a 7-yard pass or a 70-yard pass, I want that same kind of energy. And I felt like he had great energy that day. I know the numbers spoke for themselves: 10 catches over 100 yards, 1 touchdown. You know what I mean? A little ski in there. But yeah, I just gotta say shout out to Diggs for just at least bringing that competitive juice, bringing that leadership on the sidelines. I saw the little embrace that he had with Josh Allen. Because you need that. Like, it's going to be a long season, and Diggs has said that multiple times in interviews. It's like, dog, it's not a 1 week season. It's 17 weeks plus some if you get there. So, like,
Right.
you need guys like Steph to be able to energize those around him. And like I said, I hope he keep it up even when he's not seeing the ball. Hopefully, it don't always got to be 10 catches. Even if it's 4 catches, I want to see that same vibe, because that can motivate a Davis to get in his groove, or Kincaid to get in his, a Knox to get in his bully mode, which I thought the tight ends played well too. I mean, we'll see if they get more, and I know they will get more action up the middle, 15, 20, 25 yards deep, to really take the pressure off the outside. But like I said, collectively, I felt like the team played a pretty solid game. It was just the one guy in the middle, number 17, just got to play better. Just protect the ball, be smarter. Like I said, I'm all for the heroics when they need to happen. I'm all for Josh Allen soaring to get the ball over the goal line and get a touchdown and flex on them. I'm always going to be hyped for that type of shit. But situational football sometimes matters. When Aaron Rodgers is out and the whole game you're dealing with Zach Wilson, your team is up 13-3, your team is up 10-3, take what they give you sometimes. And that's okay. Like, it doesn't mean that you're an average quarterback. It doesn't mean that all of a sudden they're going to start calling you Kirk Cousins. Because niggas know what you can do. Because guess what? The moment they really think you're going to dink and dunk all game, and you can hit them with a play action. That's what offensive coordinator is for. All right, they starting to creep up. I'm going to just tell you right now, they starting to creep up. On this next one, watch Deontay Hardy on the right sideline. If it's available and it's one-on-one, I say strike it. There's going to be stuff like that available. It's just when the time is right. And like I said, we only talk about 4 or 5 plays throughout that whole game. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you can look in his face and he looked a little all over the place, but it was literally only 4 or 5 plays that
Mm-hmm.
drove fans nuts.
Yeah.
Outside of that, like you said, he threw 70%. He got the ball out quick at times. He threw all of his passes to Diggs pretty much on target. Outside of the interception, of course, but like, it wasn't like you didn't have moments in there where you did what you were supposed to do. It's just
Right.
those
It
those
wasn't like
moments.
I said, as a whole, it wasn't a terrible game. It's just
Right.
those momentary, I was calling brain farts where I'm like, yo, you just didn't even have to do it. It's like he was mentally still playing against Aaron Rodgers, like thought he had to go toe for toe. I'm
Yeah.
like, yo, bro, dial it down.
Dial it down, bro. He in the tunnel and he not coming back. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
you
Like you were
good.
saying at halftime, all you had to do was coast this thing, put another
Yeah.
10, 13 points on the board,
Yeah.
and
It,
then
it,
you'd have
it
been
was
good to
like it was
go.
like
But
the
you
one it was like the one devil on the shoulder and the one angel on the shoulder. It was like the devil was the one in his ear
like, yo, fuck
continuously
it,
telling him
throw it
like,
deep.
yeah,
Yeah,
throw it
nah,
deep,
fuck that.
throw it
Throw
down
it
there,
deep.
fuck it.
Yeah, you got the 12-year pass, but fuck that. Throw it
Yeah,
deep. It's
throw
Monday
it
night.
deep. And
Put put a show on.
yeah, so
Put a
as
beat
long
on,
as
man.
but you know what it is, man. As long as he can control that for the most part, like I said, I don't want him to take away from being what makes him
That's
special.
what makes him great. Exactly. That's what makes him special is the ability to improvise and extend plays and all
Yeah,
that. We've seen the best, but we know
right.
with that comes this side too, where it's a bit doing too much. But what he can't have is that happen 4 times in a game. But it's gonna happen once in a
Yeah,
game. Yeah,
it gonna creep
happen.
up. We not
But
telling you be perfect.
you
Yeah,
can't let it spiral to 4 turnovers. Like
right.
that's what you can't have. Because again, even with 4 turnovers and you lose a turnover battle by 3, you -3 in turnovers. It's still a tie game at the end of the game. Like
Right.
you cut that in half and it's a different game. You just can't have a 4.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You're gonna have your 1, even a 2. All right, that's not a good look, but it's
And,
gonna
and,
happen. You can't have the
and
score.
two, and we'll move on. And two, I want him to get to the point too where he doesn't even look completely bothered when that does happen. Like, you know what I mean? I always believe an image is everything from a leadership standpoint. So like I don't even need you looking like you in a different
My
planet.
man was dejected.
Yeah, like I'm looking at him even after one or two, and I'm looking at his facial expressions like, bro, pour some like take a walk on the sidelines, pour some water on your face, go talk to your wide receivers, go talk to your offensive coordinator, do whatever you gotta do, but make sure your teammates know that you are present. Make sure
Right,
your
right.
teammates know that now I got this. Now I'm good. Clap your own self up because to me as a leader, that's the one part I want to see more from him moving forward is hey, I might have got one going away from me, but I'm gonna encourage my own self. I'm gonna clap. I'm gonna walk around to the offensive line. My bad, y'all. I got y'all. Let's go. Let's go. That's what he has to get back to because he's shown that before.
Right.
That he can be that guy that kind of pump his own self back up. But like on Monday, I didn't see that. And that's what made me be like, was you just off that game mentally? Because normally after one or two, he know how to normally get himself back going in the right direction. So literally it's been a long time since I've seen him just go off the rails where it was like, damn, I can't even like it's like that car you driving where you just lost complete control. That's pretty much how I felt watching him.
That way it's spinning.
Yeah, it's just like he could not even grab the wheel at times. And that's why I was like, wow. Like a disappointed father, like, damn, for real, you just not
Yeah.
gonna listen.
It's like
But
you gotta somehow figure out a way to protect himself from himself in that situation. But again, you still gotta trust him to go out and make a play because you know at
right.
any given play or
At
any
any
given
given
time,
point in
he can
time.
make uh, a game changing crazy play
Yeah.
for the
He'd imagine
Pirates.
like I say all the time, man. He remind me of that basketball player, you know what I mean? I hate to go to a guy like Russell Westbrook, but it's similar in a way because Russell's never been really considered top 3. But prime Russ would have you ready to knock some shit over, especially if he was like a Thunder fan or something, because it'd be like, bro, some nights he'll give you 50, 20 assists and 10 rebounds. And then some nights he'll give you 12 points and like 14 turnovers. And you like, yo, Russ, you gonna slow down? Or you just on Ritalin? Like, what we doing here, bro?
And still trying to dunk on everybody.
Instead from the 3-point line. You like, yo, Russ, did you literally just take one pump fake and then just tried to bang from 20 feet? Like, what we doing here?
Yes.
Yeah. And then he'll be looking at you, mad at you, like, oh, nigga, get off me. Like,
Why
you
didn't
know
you
what
get
I
the
mean?
rebound?
Right. So that's why I always say he remind me of like the basketball version of Russ. Obviously, his skill set is not the same, but like Russ will piss you off like that. Like prime Russ will be like, yo, bro, you ain't had to run over dude 30 feet out. Like,
Right. But at the end of the day, now Josh gotta take it, learn from it, and now he got a
play
whole
ball.
bunch
And
of
he
people to
will.
prove wrong.
And he will though. I mean, that's the one thing I
I mean,
can't say.
yeah, he's too good of a talent to
Yeah.
stay
He
at
too
this
good.
point.
Yeah, he too good, bro. Like I said, once I calm myself fully down, because like I said, I can go hard when it comes to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I gotta come down and be, criticize a player, I don't have no problem doing that because I don't have no attachment to none of these people. Like I'm a fan, I'm all of that, but I'm never the type of person that's gonna be, you know,
I'm still gonna call it how I see it. And
yeah, oh
you know,
no, that's LeBron. I
it's
can't talk to him
it's
like
week
that.
one. The loss is not fatal, but it's a badass loss.
But I lost, and you did that in front of everybody. You
And
acted up in front of the whole house.
yeah, and now all the doubters that you had prior to the season, now you
Yeah,
just put lighter fluid on that flame.
all on top of that. But
So yes, to a lot of the football world, this team is dead. This team is
oh
shot.
yeah,
This team is
oh
over
y'all
the
got a
hill. This
turnover
team
prone
can't do it.
quarterback.
This
Y'all
team
can't
can't
win.
win.
Yeah, y'all can't win with Josh. That's where we at right now, and that's cool. I like being here because it's like, guess what? Prove them wrong.
Keep believing that if you want, but I need y'all to keep that same energy for Joe Burrow and them because them
Right.
boys look terrible too.
They did 82 yards, 83 yards, whatever he had.
86.
Yeah, but guess what? Week to week, I always say that
Mhm.
every because I'm telling you right now, come Sunday morning, them same fans that was like they
Yep,
ready to give up on
100%.
him.
Like, listen, I saw Cincinnati get their ass whooped, and that does not change how I feel about their chances this
Nah,
season. They're still
they
going to be a
still gonna be
great
good.
team
Yeah.
with a great quarterback and multiple
Same thing
great
with Kansas
receivers.
City. Same thing
Like,
with man,
none of
bro.
that changes.
That's why I said week one is a funny time because it's overreactions. Like I said, for everything I said Monday,
For good and for
Tuesday,
bad, Tampa Bay pull off a win against Minnesota. They may not win another game this damn season.
right? And
Like,
I almost forgot that they beat Minnesota. Like that's how wild Sunday was. I almost forgot that Tampa Bay won that game. Like that's probably low key outside of. But I think I called the Cleveland one though, right? No, which
uh,
game did I?
I think we said Cleveland over Cincinnati.
Yeah, yeah, because I think my sister Jamila, she was telling me I called one of them upsets. I know I called Pittsburgh, which didn't happen.
Yeah, you thought Pittsburgh over 49ers. That
But what
shit.
was the other one though? I'm gonna have to go back and watch that.
Yeah, I feel like it was Cincy over
It might have
Cincy.
been it might have been Cleveland over
Yeah,
Cincy.
Cleveland over Cincy. I think we both. I mean, that definitely
I think we
says.
both did say that, yeah. So I don't know.
Mm,
I guess we was right on one of them. But
yeah.
moving forward, we got that out the way. Week 2 is here. Max Crosby and the crew, Jimmy G and the crew, or like they like to call him, porn star Jimmy. Um, what you got for me, man? Favorite matchup of the game? What you looking forward to?
I'm happy. Chandler Jones still got beef with the team or whatever. So
Right.
that makes me happy because
Whatever
Max
that situation.
Crosby alone is a handful, and if you have to worry about both, that's a scary prospect. But you know, it makes me feel better that it's mostly Max Crosby that they can focus their attention on. So I'm
Right.
excited about that. But Oakland, or Vegas, I keep calling boys Oakland.
Yeah.
Vegas, they looked okay.
Right. They took care of business.
Yeah,
Can't be mad at that.
they didn't they didn't look great. They didn't look bad. They looked fine. They found Devontae Adams. Jacoby Myers had a nice little game before he got smacked. Uh, Josh Jacobs looked like Josh Jacobs. Jimmy
They
G
got
was
some players, man.
was Jimmy G. I mean,
Jimmy G,
consistent,
Jimmy G.
nothing
Right.
special.
Right.
Not gonna lose you the game. Not gonna win you the game. He
Right.
was
And
Jimmy
I,
G.
and I think that's all Mike McDaniel's trying to do. I mean, not Mike McDaniel's, but Josh McDaniels. I think that's all he's trying to do over there anyway.
Yeah, and that's no shot at Garoppolo. No disrespect. He's
Right.
he's a uh, he's a
He's a game
NFL
manager.
quarterback. Yeah,
Right. He's a game manager that you can find yourself in the playoffs with. And guess
correct.
what? We done seen it happen. We
In
done
the right
seen
scenario, he can win the Super Bowl with a great defense
right.
and
And
and a stud up front.
right. So
But yeah, I mean, I feel good about the Bills in this game still. I mean, coming into the season, this was still one of the games that I thought were, in the grand scheme of things, one of the easier ones on the schedule.
right.
Uh, it's one they need to come home opener and take care of business. I'm not gonna say they're gonna blow them out because Bills don't deserve the benefit of the doubt as of right now. But you know, this is not the Jets defense they're running up against. This is
Right.
not Quentin Williams they're running up against. It's
Right.
not Sauce Gardner on the outside that they're running up against. So
Just Marcus
I,
Peters.
I expect the Bills to come out with a much different mindset this week.
Yeah.
Again, because they took a punch to the face real early.
Right.
So, you know, they got a wake up call week one. Like,
Right.
ain't nobody gonna hand them no wins. Nobody gonna hand them the playoffs. No one gonna hand them the division. So, I mean, they know they need to come here and take care of business because they can't walk out of this first 2 weeks 0-2.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's where I'm at. Like I said, we'll get into, our favorite individual matchup, but I think from a team versus team perspective, You got Raiders coming off of a good to slash great victory for themselves to start the season. And I think for the Bills, it's definitely a chance to respond because I know they want to get that taste out their mouth. Like, even though 90% of the team played well, I'm sure they like, nah, we're not happy with how week one went. So we're gonna come out and show whoever's watching, whether it's the fans or anybody else that's taking a peek over to see if the Bills gonna play better. We're gonna go out and we're gonna try to lay a smack down. And I think that's what it's gonna be. I think the energy from the start will be everything.
Right.
I'm all about what you look like in the first half, first quarter, really. What kind of energy are you bringing out on that first drive? Whether you get the ball first or not, are we forcing Jimmy G and the boys 1, 2, 3 and out? Are we getting the crowd involved? Are we getting that run game going? Are we stacking first downs? Is Josh, being methodical with the ball to start the game? Because guess
Having
what?
better success on first down because
Right. Because guess
last
what?
year,
I don't
first down,
need it would be fun, but I don't need on first play of the game for it to be play action and then an 80-yard touchdown.
I
Nah.
mean, that, I mean,
Show me real quick.
listen, bro. I need 1 or 2 of those a game at most. Like I
Right.
don't need that much.
Right. So I'm saying to start the game, like you said, at least show me y'all can get positive yards on first down.
Yeah,
At
just
least show
get
me that
first
y'all
down.
going block up Max Crosby over there because that's enemy number one when it comes to the matchup. Is like
Yeah.
we got to make sure he don't get loose. Because if you get Crosby into a game, like I've seen him literally wreck games.
Mm-hmm.
And Raiders don't even come on TV that much, but I've literally seen him,
He can be a game plan
man.
killer.
I've seen him cause hell for Patrick Mahomes, for Russell Wilson and those guys. So like that to me is gonna be my number one thing is like contain him and we can drop 30 plus. If you don't, it can be a long day, and those questions gonna continue to stack up because if you get Josh to continue to be uncomfortable, he gonna feel like he needs to be Superman again. And that's the last thing we need to see is back-to-back weeks of him feeling like he needs to do the most. Like I said, I'm okay with him showing off his Superman skills because guess what? Only few got that. Him, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. There's only about 3 in the league. Deshaun Watson when he in his zone. But like there's only three, 4 in the league that can put on that cape and
Mm-hmm.
just put on a show. And Josh is one of them. It's just you don't want to have him feel like he need to on every drive.
Shit,
Because
especially
that's
when you don't need to.
right.
Like, bro, you ain't gotta put that on.
Yeah. But I like the matchup overall because I feel like the Bills are in a good spot. Week one obviously didn't go the way they wanted. So I feel like they're gonna come out with a lot of energy. I thought they had a lot of energy on Monday, but I
Yeah,
think that this
they met the moment. Like
yeah, they did. They did. That's what
week
I'm saying.
one is on the road, it's in New York, it's on 9/11, it's Aaron Rodgers' debut. Like there's a lot of emotion, a lot of energy in that building, and they met it. Like they said, they didn't show up unprepared, they didn't show up
Right.
scared or
Right.
apprehensive. It
Right.
was none of that. It was just, it was 17.
Right. 17. So speaking of 17, what's your favorite matchup of the game? I know I mentioned Max Crosby versus our whole offensive line, but is there one that you're gonna key in on?
Yeah, I'm watching this D line again. I want to see if they can consistently get pressure again before, and if they can, it is going to really start to work wonders for this defense. Because again, it takes the pressure off the back end. If I'm able to consistently get pressure with four, it gives me a lot more creativity I can do on the back end. In an ideal world, it keeps them in, second and long, third and longs, where I can get real creative about how I rush. And, it just gets me even more excited of what it can look like when Vaughn actually does come back. I mean, granted, I know I'm thinking a couple weeks ahead, but I just want to see if, it wasn't just a 1 week thing. Can Rousseau and Floyd consistently continue to get back there and get pressure and see what this continue to look like?
Yeah, no, I'm with you, man. The D line is definitely gonna be something fun to watch. I mean, I really think the Bills have the potential the next 2 weeks, and not even trying to look too far ahead, but to stack shutdown performances. And I'm not saying have to be 0 points, but I feel like they can dominate their next couple games because if you look at the quarterbacks they're playing, they're not known for getting away from pressure. Like Jimmy G is not scrambling out of the pocket to throw a 30-yard dot. Sam Howell, for all the love he gets from his people in his corner, he's not scrambling out of the pocket to run 20 yards to pick up a first down. So they are dealing with two quarterbacks, and even though they are, they do got some backfield talent, Josh Jacobs, and then even looking ahead with Williams and not Williams, Robinson and Gibson, but there's a bit of a run threat coming into this week because Josh Jacobs,
They're
top
one of
five
the best in
running back.
the league.
Top five running back. It is what it is. Like let's call it what it is. He's a top five running back. So they will definitely have to fill the holes this week, stay disciplined, but collectively, and I think Devontae Adams right now is hampered by injury, foot injury. I'm hearing because I would love to see him healthy. I mean, not really,
Yeah,
but
not this one.
I mean,
Right.
right, not really, but him
Want to
versus
see him at full strength? Shit.
yeah, I know, right? But nah, him versus Trey.
80%, I take that.
Yeah, him versus Trey. Because I still feel like Trey played well last week. I mean, that little
That touchdown catches,
that touchdown, that's
it was great defense, and
great.
it was just a
Great play
lucky.
by Wilson. Yeah, great. I mean, like they always say, good D, better offense.
Yeah,
Um,
and sometimes it's just an unlucky bounce. Trey
yeah,
played that perfectly.
it be like
Somehow
that.
the ball deflected literally directly
Be
up
like
in
that.
the air and right into his lap.
And
So I
guess
mean,
what? White gonna get him one. And that's the
yeah,
one thing I'm excited about is that Trey gonna be in position all year. Because
Trey
teams
played
not
good.
gonna yeah,
Yeah,
team
secondary as a whole played fine.
right. Team's not going back down from throwing against the Bills. So Trey gonna get his opportunities. And I feel like you know, if Adams is playing, which I'm pretty sure he will, it's gonna be fun seeing them two go at it. So I'll probably say that's one of my favorite matchups. I don't really have a good matchup when it comes to Crosby in the right tackle spot. Now if he can line up against Dawkins, that'll be something to watch. If Dawkins can try to hold his own, that's a tough assignment though. But if he does get matched up on him, that's something to watch. But I really like Trey White versus Adams. I think also a sleeper matchup is Hunter versus Taron Johnson. Hunter Renfrew in that slot is top 5. And Taron Johnson, as we know, is top 2 at his position. So I'm looking forward to that matchup. And again, looking for that defensive front to challenge Jimmy G and Josh Jacobs. We know Jimmy G can get that ball out quick. You know what I mean? He's not going to throw you a bunch of picks. That's one thing I know Jimmy G not going to do. He's not going to just hand you the ball. He's going to be smart. And then Josh Jacobs is going to hit that hole. And he's not hitting that hole just trying to juke you. He hitting that hole, and if you coming at him light, he might run you over. So
Ain't no Mike. That man runs
right.
aggressive.
He run hard. So that's going to be something to watch as well. And then if we flip it over to offense, I'll just flip it to the Bills side. Diggs versus Marcus Peters if they want to throw Peters on him. I think the matchups. I think the Bills match up well against them offensively because I don't see.
Correct. I mean, Marcus Peters is not Marcus Peters
Right.
of old.
And even when he was in his prime, all he really
Yeah, he
did
just racked up pick numbers.
right. He
Yeah.
just jumped on plays. And
Yeah.
Josh even brought up an interview, which led me to believe that they're going to try to get him to jump on a couple routes, but that's what he do. He made a living off of jumping routes. So we'll see what he got going on. But I like the matchups with the tight ends. Like Dawson and Kincaid should be eating. Cook should be eating. Murray, Harris, whoever they got running the ball, they should be able to eat. Because it's not like the Raiders are known for their run defense. They're known for their ability to try to get after the quarterback. Obviously led by Max Crosby, but the Bills should put up 30 points. Plain and simple. Like I may be overly confident, and I'll get your score total in a second. But right now, my initial thought, and I'm not trying to get too crazy, but it's 31-13. I think Bills come out, try to make a statement. And obviously a real statement would be like maybe, I don't know, 31-0, 35-0. But I think 31-13 is reasonable because I think that you got to put some respect on the Raiders' name. Like, don't think that they just not going to come to play. So I think that they'll have some opportunities, but I really think the Bills' defense is just going to smother them at the line and just say, guess what, Jimmy G, you got to beat me deep. Like, that's how I think you got to play the Raiders. Is like, I know y'all got Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrew, all that stuff's cute, but Jimmy G, you got to throw the ball more than 30 yards down the field. And if Bills are able to smother them at the line of scrimmage, I can see them easily getting them in 1, 2, 3 and out and getting Josh the opportunities he need to lead the Bills on some successful scoring drives And I really think that 30 number is going to be it. I think the offense is going to come out motivated. Josh is going to come out motivated to put together a sound game. Like I said, it don't got to be a Superman game, but I think Josh is going to be motivated to put together a sound game. And that could lead to 30, 31, 35 points. And something for the fans to feel good about. I don't know. Where you at?
I mean, my scoreline is probably similar to what I predicted against the Jets. I think it's going to be high 20s to mid teens. So I mean, my
Okay.
guess is 28-16.
Okay.
Um, I feel like Bills are going to come out a little bit more aggressive on offense. When I say aggressive, I don't mean deep shots. I just mean a little bit more aggressive on fourth downs, not necessarily settling for field goals. Not that they did a terrible. I mean, it was really only one decision that I thought was quite a little questionable about going for it. But I think they'll be a little bit more aggressive. They're going to put an emphasis on getting into the end zone and not settling for field goals. So, I mean, I think the Bills do outmatch Vegas from a talent standpoint. I think that a show. Um, I just need to see the offense in a good groove before I can, really pick them to go, 30 plus. Because at the end of the day, that's still a lot of points.
Right.
27 is right there, or 28 is right there on the cusp of it. But I can't really say 34, 35, 31, 38 until I kind of
So they
see
saw it. I feel you.
until I see Josh actually start to put two and two together. But I expect him to get Gabe into the game a lot more than last week. I expect another healthy dose of Diggs, and I don't think that Vegas has the horses on the back end
They
to
ain't got
hang
nothing to cover him.
with
Definitely not him.
the receiving core and specifically Diggs. So,
Nah.
if I had to put money on it right now, I'm going 28-16.
So we both picking the Bills to cover the spread, basically.
What is the spread? Let me check.
The last time I checked, they said it went from 9.5 to 8.5. So if you somebody watching that spread while it's at 8.5, I would say it's a good time to jump on it before it jump back up to 9.5.
I see it at 9 right now.
It's at 9, yeah. I'm gonna stay away from it for now because Bills ain't obviously the Bills ain't did nothing yet for me to be jumping on any spread when it comes to them. So
Yeah, that's tied for the biggest spread of the week.
yeah. So as far as money line, I mean you don't get much from that, but
Why is
the
there
spread,
two Monday night games this week?
yeah, because they did it in reverse. Remember last year, the
Week
last
one the
year,
last few
right?
years.
Who playing on Monday Night Football this week? Because we got to pick our joints
Yeah,
anyway.
New Orleans at Carolina is the 7:15 game, and then Cleveland at Pittsburgh is the 8:15 game.
That's a nice one. That's a nice one. Now that game is only going to end 13 to fucking 16, but
Listen, that Cleveland Pittsburgh game gonna be all running. That joint about
right,
to be over in 2 hours.
yeah. So that'll be one to keep an eye on. As far as if you like physical, nasty, mean, rugged games, you getting all of that in Cleveland, Pittsburgh. So you got your score 28-16. I said 31-13. Any potential upsets you see this week?
Yeah. I'm making my way through now.
Okay. Cause I gotta look too, cause I ain't gonna think. Come on.
Yeah. Oh,
I gotta take a peek. My damn.
yeah. Nothing from a massive upset side, but
Okay.
if I had to pick right now, I would go out on a limb for two games, and they're
Okay.
not really upsets.
Okay.
I got Jacksonville over Kansas City. Jacksonville at home, a 3.5 point underdogs. I love the way Trevor Lawrence looked this week. Just you can tell that he is quickly ascending himself into the top tier quarterbacks. Um, Jacksonville at home. Kansas City did lose week one, so you're expecting a bounce back. But I had some serious question marks on Kansas City's receivers right now. And if Kelsey comes back, that could be a different story. But if he's not back or is hampered, I got some question marks about Kansas City because Mahomes played just fine last week and he got let down left and right. And if his receivers consistently are not holding their end of the bargain, it don't matter who you got at quarterback.
Right.
So as of right now, I'll do my upset is Jacksonville over Kansas City. Again, not a massive upset, by any stretch, but you know, by letter of the law, they still are 3.5 point underdogs at
Yeah, no,
home.
I like that one because I was thinking about it, but I'm just like, do I really see Pat and the boys going down 0-2? Like that'd be fun for me because, like I said, if we can get them to drop two quick,
Hmm.
that's more fun for us. But like you said, would that be a huge upset? No, but I definitely like where you're going with that. Like where you going with that. And what was the
And
second one?
I only had the one, but the other one I was looking at though, which is kind of surprising, is Baltimore at Cincinnati. Baltimore are 3.5 point underdogs on the road against Cincinnati. So I'm kind of surprised at that. With Baltimore coming in 1-0, Cincinnati looking as bad as they did week one. I'm just surprised that Baltimore.
I think they just feel like
Still,
I think they feel like that bounce back is just like an automatic from
yeah,
Cincinnati.
but 3.5 against the Ravens
Yeah, I
is
might take the spread on that one. I might take Baltimore in the
is
spread.
is I don't know. I don't think I like that 3.5, man. That's a fool's bet right there. I wouldn't touch it
What
for
for
Cincinnati.
Baltimore?
Not for Cincinnati.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. That's why I would do. I would go Baltimore and take the point. With the points.
Yeah,
They
so
they yeah they can keep that game close. I mean, if they lose by a field goal, they lose by a field goal. But that game is staying under 40 points.
the over under is at 46.5 right now.
See, I'm going under on that,
Yeah, that's
and
one of the higher ones of the week.
yeah, I like them AFC North matchups. Like I said, like even Patriots Dolphins, like as even though that game on Sunday night is not sexy, I think the way the Patriots fought
It's
back
fake
against
sexy.
it's fake sexy, right? So even though the Patriots ain't come all the way back against Philly, they fought, and I'll
Yeah, they
give them
fought
credit for
back.
that. Yeah, they
Yeah,
fought
down 16-0 early. They
early.
clawed back. They
They
clawed back
fought.
late
So
in the
that's
game.
a game I'm gonna look for from a physicality standpoint because I'm gonna just try to see if, hey, we know we can't beat you when it goes skill for skill, but if we get physical with you, if we get inside them passing lanes to take away some of that that stuff to Hill and Waddle, what can we do? It's just I don't see them having the horses because I kind of want to pick New England on some wild shit to upset,
But yeah,
but
until someone figure out how to stop Tyreek Hill coming across in motion, full speed, and not able to get a hand on him because you got this amazingly world class speed player already at full speed by the time the ball snap. Until a coordinator figure out how to stop that, it's going to be pitch and catch. Because good luck trying to catch him. We already got ahead of Steve. Like they got to figure something out.
I'm really struggling right now with my upset pick of the week. I think what I'm leaning towards, man, this is tough. I think I'm gonna flip it. I don't even think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna let you roll with your upset with Jags Cincy. I mean Jags over KC, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and pick my gimme of the week. I think my gimme of the week is Dallas over Jets, and I feel like that's an easy one because you're like, well, it's Zach Wilson, but I think with the talent that the Jets have, I think they can make it competitive. But I think that's gonna be my one gimme, and my other one that I was looking at, um, as far as the gimme goes, is I like Chicago over Tampa.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a quiet game.
Ooh, I don't know. Tampa,
Yeah, that
Tampa, they favored in that game.
yeah, so that could potentially be, if you want to call it an upset, but I think I mean, coming into the
Two and a
season,
half point favorites at home.
yeah, I'm definitely picking Chicago in that game. Just because it's just like, yes, what Tampa Bay did week one was great, but you're not going to tell me Justin Fields and them boys not going to be ready to get that first win. And against an NFC opponent at that, and we know Chicago not going to be tanking. Like, who knows what Tampa we're going to be doing come December 1st. We know Chicago not looking to tank. So I feel like Chicago going to come in that game motivated. Justin Fields, DJ Moore, them boys, Tremaine Edmonds, and those guys, they're going to be looking to get that first dub. I think they're going to do that against Tampa. And like I said, Dallas, I don't got to say too much about that matchup. Micah Parsons, Stephon Gilmore, Trayvon Diggs. I mean, hey, Jets, a lot of talent. Really sorry about what happened with Rodgers, but
Listen, all I'm gonna say is, and I don't even think I like how this is about to come off. the Bills have good depth at DN, but right now they don't have a superstar on their DN, in my opinion.
Okay.
If Jets don't figure out how to do anything with Micah Parsons, it's gonna be a long night for Zach Wilson. So
Yeah.
that that
Like I said,
Dallas
right,
Jets
because he got the athleticism to chase him. Like we
to
got
do
DNs,
everything.
right? We got DNs who can bend a little, who can, you know,
Yeah, no, I
hit.
mean I think we have top end defensive ends. We just
Oh
don't
yeah,
have a Micah
we
Parsons.
don't got Mike right, that's the shortest way to put it. Like Bills from a defensive line standpoint have a top 5 defensive line in the entire NFL.
Yeah, they can come at
And I
you in
stand on
waves.
that.
Yeah, they come at you in waves all day
Right.
from
One
one to
one through one
one to
through
five.
9, 1 through
Yeah,
10. I
but
mean, yeah,
ain't no without Von, there's nobody that's wreaking that type of havoc. Shell, even with Von, I mean, I
right.
don't think he's at Micah Parsons level at age 34. Let me not disrespect Von like that because last year he was still putting up numbers while he was in
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Von was
Micah
going crazy.
Parsons, they put him in that end, they put him in the middle, they put him at middle linebacker, they put him
Yeah.
everywhere on the damn field, and no matter what, he still ends up in the backfield making a play. And so yeah, Jets gonna have a handful with that game.
Yeah.
So
I got that. I got Dallas winning that one at least
yeah,
by
I
two
I don't
tutties.
yeah, I got a feeling this game's not gonna be close.
Yeah, I got two tutties on it. Like I said, Jets, they got the talent to make it interesting, maybe in the first half. Maybe it's like, I don't know, 13-6, similar to our game. But
Yeah,
Dallas, they superstar power on the defensive side. That's too much. That's too much for little old Zach Wilson. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Um,
Because in order for that Jets offense to click, they got to get the ball out quick.
right.
And that has not been Zach Wilson's strong suit at
Nope.
all. Like, I mean, hell, even against the other night against the Bills, if his first or second read wasn't there, he kind of looked a
He
little
started
bit
scrambling. Yeah, he started going a little
little
crazy
haywire.
Josh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, he got a strong arm himself, so
he do.
he can make all the throws.
He do, but he don't want to throw it in that coverage though, because they secondary about as close to ours as you gonna get, especially from cornerback standpoint. Like with Gilmore and Diggs on both sides.
Yeah,
Good
ain't
luck.
no easy spot. Yeah.
Yeah, hey, good luck with that. But yeah, I think all in all, man, we got close to an hour in today. I don't think we did too much ranting and raving, too much yelling. We said what we wanted to say. We got out our frustration early, but I think we speak for most logical Bills fans, and we say on to the next one. Home openers around the corner. Well, y'all know the energy gonna be there. I don't care what y'all say. We can pretend. I mean, do I like hearing the things that I'm hearing from shit? I feel like every day is something. Terry Pagula, fucking now Maddie Glab getting in some news because he's saying some shit off the mic. You know what I mean? Fucking who else?
Listen, if you still saying shit to a hot mic in 2023, that's on you.
Yeah, listen, it just be a lot of weird stuff
You
going on
saying
with.
that shit happily as hell with your annoying ass voice.
Yeah.
Say, man, if you don't sit your ass down somewhere,
So it just seemed like, all right, Sunday, 1 p.m. Let's get here because I'm tired of talking
yeah,
about all the stuff that don't matter.
can't get there
Um,
soon enough, man.
yeah, yeah. And shout out to our girl from Sony Fredonia grad, Jill, the poet. Um, she put out something with NFL Network.
Oh, did you? I didn't even catch that.
Bruh, catch it. The Bills put it up on their website. People who know her, she from the inner city of Buffalo, New York, and like I said, also graduated with same school as me and Z. She's been doing a lot of stuff in the community, outside the community, performing in different places. But they got like a 3.5 minute commercial. I think the dude behind it, even the camera who put it together too, he from Buffalo too. I forgot his name
Oh, that's
off the
dope.
top off the top of my head. But yeah, Bills posted it on their Instagram and Twitter is up. I know.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check it out.
Yeah, check it out, man. 3.5 minutes. I think I shared it on my IG too. Good reflection on Buffalo, like what we've been through over the last 18 months or whatever. Um, you know, and I love it. I love that, I always say all the time, representation is everything. So I love to see us representing the right way, making our voices be heard, and just doing positive stuff in the community and for the team. Because a lot of people, I've said it before in the past, they think about Bills Mafia, they think about Buffalo, they think about everything else, but some of us who was really born in the soil of Buffalo. And it's feels good to be represented. So shout out to Jill. And everybody else that was a part of that commercial, even the people who were included. I even know some people outside of her that were in that video as well. So yeah, so we just want to say, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in again. I don't know if you had anything else, Z, anything else you want to hit them with.
Let's go Bills.
Let's go Bills, and
Home
let's get
opener,
us
baby.
one. Let's get us one. I think the whole city, the whole
Make it
town, the
happen.
whole fan base, even Josh.
Yeah, just
He,
need a bounce back. That's it.
yeah, just a bounce back, get us feeling good. Cause like I said, I know Sunday morning when we all wake up, we gonna still get them same butterflies we get before every
Yeah,
Bills game.
the season
Uh,
back in
yeah,
stride. They get
yeah. I
good.
mean, I'm back in the parking lot. Yeah, I mean, if you need to see me, I'm still at the right side of the stadium. I mean, I'm
Right,
still
right.
gonna be in good spirits. You know what I mean? If you there, Z, I know you'll probably be at the game or no.
I'm on the fence right now. We'll see.
Not the fence for the home.
Hey, dog. Hey, man, it is what it is,
No,
dog.
I know. I know it's different when you in your position now. Like you've done this shit year in, year out. You got more responsibilities than you've probably ever had as a season ticket holder. I
Yep.
get you. But at the
Yeah,
same time, it's the home opener.
it's that full day commitment, man. That's
I
the
know, but it's also the home opener.
you
Nah,
right. We'll see how the week plays out.
yeah, we'll see how the week go. But you already know if you there, Z, you already know
Yeah,
where to come find me
you
at.
know where I'll be.
Yeah, and then even for anybody else who know me personally, you know where I'm gonna be at.
Block
Live
two.
live from the stadium, man. Yeah, I mean, you know what section I'll be in and all that. But now, listen, y'all, enjoy it. We still got a long season, man. Like I said, we can cry about shit that's out of our control. Guess what? We don't get paid the big money to get out there.
I had
Everybody
that
on the line.
game out of my system in 10 minutes. I was like, ugh, this was ugly. They ain't deserve it. On the next week.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need the trip.
We got 16 more games, y'all. So listen, y'all. We appreciate y'all as always. Continue to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend.
All
That
that
we do this every week.
every week.
Like, share, subscribe, join us. If you got the time, we'll join y'all. If we got the time. And you see behind me, Big Buffalo. We coming. Home opener.
Not like
Hopefully we got a
Dion.
hopefully we got a great one to discuss, man.
You coming. Bringing luggage too.
That's right. So y'all
Yeah.
enjoy and shit, we'll talk to y'all soon.
See y'all next week.
Peace
Be safe,
out.
y'all.